New images capture the moment a massive 8.8 earthquake struck eastern Russia. In the hours that followed, more than 100 aftershocks were recorded, as well as this major eruption, the glow of lava spewing from the tallest volcano in all of Eurasia. Tuesday's quake sending shockwaves across the Pacific, with Hawaii and the entire U.S. West Coast in the path of a potentially dangerous tsunami. This time-lapse video shows water rapidly receding from Kauai's popular Hanalei Bay. Across the islands, tsunami sirens blared, prompting panic in Paradise. Traffic gridlocked as thousands rushed to higher ground.
There are only so many roads on Maui. 5-minute drive took us an hour and a half.
On Maui, Oprah Winfrey even opening her private road to relieve congestion. While over on the Big Island,
so we made it to the port, but the ship is leaving.
Mandy Berry was forced to spend the night at a shelter in Hilo after her cruise ship quickly left port, stranding several passengers on the island.
It was at that moment where I actually got scared. That's when I definitely started to feel the heaviness of it, for sure.
Please stay in your rooms.
On Oahu, tourists keeping an eye on the ocean from hotel balconies, others hunkering down in hallways. As night fell, waves crested over 5 feet in some areas, but luckily no serious damage or injuries have been reported.
What we do know about electromagnetic systems and electromagnetic warfare is becoming even more interesting. As late as April 28, 1997, U.S. Secretary of Defense Cohen announced at University of Georgia that, in fact, geophysical warfare was becoming a more intense problem. In fact, they even speculated that terrorist organizations would have systems that could modify weather, create volcanic eruptions, or even cause earthquakes using electromagnetic waves.
You know, earthquakes is another thing. We have had a lot of them, a lot of volcanoes more in the last few years. Whether or not that is just a cycle of happenings, because we've had a history of earthquakes and volcanoes throughout recorded history, but it just seems to me like that it's coming more often, and that there has to be some connection with some of the things that we as humans are doing to our Earth.
The issue of earthquakes has been, looked at by other specialists, even going back to the work of J.F. Gordon MacDonald when he was at UCLA. In the late 60s, he was also a science advisor. Lyndon Johnson is a specialist in geophysical warfare. He asserted then if you could ever get enough energy in at just the right frequency and just the right waveform, you could, in fact, trigger these kinds of events. And I think that's exactly what the Secretary of Defense, Cohen, was saying just a few days ago, was it's this idea that now terrorists may possess this kind of technology. It's obvious. I mean, if we're concerned that terrorists have it, we certainly do.
Back in 1912, Nikola Tesla said it was possible to split the planet by combining the correct vibrations with the resonance of the planet itself.
The idea of affecting weather for many people, it gets to the point where you say, well, can that even be real? And when you go back in time, even to 1976, the United States, along with over 60 other countries, signed an accord where we agreed to not use weather manipulation as a weapon of war. This is before biological and chemical treaties, before many of the nuclear disarmament treaties. And yet, that was such a big threat in '76. Has the science progressed? Certainly.
We're in this sea of energy. We're in a sea of gases. We're in a sea of particles that are charged. And they're moving constantly, just like a current in the ocean, just like the wind in the atmosphere. This current forms. And you draw and you attract these particles. Well, Wilhelm Reich attracted these particles. He pointed it at the sky and he said, you want clouds to be built there? You got a drought? He would point the device at that place and clouds would form there.
In the 40s, there was interest in weather modification. That by the 50s, there was actual experimentation in that area. By the 1960s, that area had advanced substantially.
Well, there have been programs with salting clouds, salting things with silver iodide, and there's been some experiments where people from airplanes threw chaff out, the little pieces of metal, and tried to get those to absorb power.
We have done such damage to the thermal balance, to the hydrologic balance of this planet at this point. We are seeing more and more disasters. You have to watch the news. You have to notice these things. You can't just take Prozac and forget about it, and the next day you see the whole Ohio River Valley was just flooded. Billions of dollars of damage. Thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of people left without homes.
Question: can tectonic movement be intentionally triggered? Extremely anomalous atmospheric heating directly above the epicenters of catastrophic earthquakes has long since been observed by globally recognized institutions like MIT, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. The Japanese M9 earthquake is just one example. MIT recorded extremely anomalous atmospheric heating directly above the 2011 Japanese earthquake epicenter for 3 full days immediately preceding the triggering of the earthquake. Are extremely powerful microwave transmissions actively and aggressively being used as weapons of mass destruction? If all available evidence is examined, the data-based conclusions are chilling. Understanding the full potential of the power that can be projected from ionosphere heater installations like HAARP in Alaska is difficult and complex. Science studies have acknowledged a connection between frequencies and seismic events. Immensely powerful microwave transmissions can be bounced off the now ionized atmosphere, facilitated by the atmospheric aerosol saturation of electrically conductive particles from the ongoing climate intervention operations. By directing concentrated microwave transmissions back into Earth's strata in a seismically sensitive location, the triggering of seismic activity becomes scientifically possible, not just from the interior heating of the strata, but also from the frequency vibrations that are created. Microwave transmissions, when used as a seismic weapon or a weather weapon, leave signatures on cloud formations that are easily distinguished. Concentrated microwave transmissions may provide a conductive corridor that would, in essence, siphon off immense amounts of power from Earth's electrically charged ionosphere and/or Earth's electrojet currents, thus greatly amplifying the destructive power and potential of microwave weapons. Frequencies transmitted by ionosphere heater facilities like HAARP in Alaska are capable of causing vibrations in Earth's strata. Much like plucking a string on a musical instrument, the vibrations can reverberate and resonate, and thus potentially triggering seismic activity in a seismically sensitive region. Anomalous seismic incidents include Chile, 2010, Haiti, 2010, Japan, 2011, Afghanistan and Pakistan, 2015, New Zealand, 2016, Mexico, 2017, Iraq and Iran, 2017, and there are, of course, others. Geoengineeringwatch.org wishes to express our deepest condolences to all those that have endured the consequences of catastrophic earthquakes, past and present. We also wish to express our deepest concern for those that may sometime soon face the same. Please look up and speak out. Time is not on our side.